Welcome, friends, to the Soul Talk podcast, a show where we explore and uncover the path to the heart, amplifying your conscience. Join me as we meet incredible souls who are in this journey and learn from their experience and different methods that will make you vibrate your heart. Let's get into it. And I bet many of you want to know what it is channeling or wanted to connect to your higher self, that it is a great advantage to have in our side. Why is important to connect to your higher self? This class of what is channeling, it is part of my transformational program that it is Path to the Heart. It is just a little piece from the whole program. What is channeling, you will ask? Everybody talks about channeling, you hear everywhere channeling, and there's even the people that are already channeling, they already have too many doubts. Other than, right, how do I connect with this being and not with the other being? It is my ego talking, or is my higher self, or is an angel, or who it is? So there's many questions that they have. So we're going to be clarifying some of those today. Well, channeling, basically, we're translators of a language that we're listening, feeling, sensing, testing, smelling, or simply knowing. That those are some of the clairs that we're going to be talking about that, because we are magical beings, every single human beings, and no one, well, there is a minority percentage of the human population that they don't have that inner voice. So I have not tested. I have doubts that they can channel themselves, but I might be wrong. This is what I know in this moment. So everybody receive ideas, inspirations, solutions for problems, or simply they guide us to turn to the right or turn to the left. The thing is, we were not used to, the system did not teach us at all how to, we believe in ourselves. We believe in the intuition, follow that intuition. And so even if we present with an idea and we know the solution, or we know what is going to happen, we tend to self-doubt ourselves. So we tend to put it in the background. That happened to me. I've been doing this all my life since I am a kid. Since I remember my friends that no one can see, my imaginary friends, how my family called them, that after I tell them, hey, I was just playing with so and so, and I was playing with this and this, and there were fairies in there. They were, oh yes, that's your imaginary friends. That is not true, Monica. That's not true. What happened to us when we start growing up? We start closing ourselves to that imaginary friends, and you don't want to even tell the psychologist. I'm hearing voices, or I'm seeing things that are not, that no one can see them, because we're afraid to go to a mental hospital, or they give us a bunch of medications. So there's a lot of fear about expressing what we are seeing, observing, sensing, smelling, tasting, or simply knowing. There is a lot of fear through that. But basically, a channeler is the one that can translate multidimensional energy that arrives to us, and we can understand it. That's why we're translators. Now, I'm not going to say they have the same vibration, every single being that comes to us. Some of the beings that they come to us are going to be, the mainly is everybody has a higher self. Everybody has a higher self. I don't care if they believe in it or not, but they still have it. Now, everybody has an angel, at least one angel with them, that they're taking care of them. All that, not only from this timeline, we're talking from different timelines too. And it's been with us since we separate from source energy. It's been with us, and like that, we have our own guides too. Everybody has that too. Do you believe in them or not? I am an artist for 49 years and a poet since I'm 14 years old. And all that time, even when I was starting to get an inspiration, it's like, okay, what am I gonna paint today? And I hear, oh, you're gonna paint this and this and this, or a poem just flow, and I hear in the voice, and I'm writing it down. For many years, I thought Then inspiration came from me. Now that I am a channeler and I can sense, and I do this for 24/7 all the time. I'm being guided and I open myself to that. Now I realize that all that inspiration, it actually, they were showing me. Sometimes the paintings is exactly what the people needs to see, or some people needs to see. And the same applies for the poetry. And the poetry was a kind of a little bit more different because I was writing a poem very in my computer, it was very inspiring hearing the voices and all this. And then suddenly I turned up my head and it's like, oh, and there he was. One of my guides, that I call him the poet, because every time he talked to me, he talks in poetry. And that's where I was getting all those poems. And I thought, okay, it is very useful for artists, mathematicians, for engineers, scientists, bookkeepers, lawyers, housewives. It's useful for every single being. If you're trying to fix a problem or find a solution for a problem that you have with someone else, if you ask, you're going to receive that answer. Every time that we want to connect to the higher beings, they're eager to help us. So it is about connecting with them, and we're going to receive that information. Now, there's many myths about channeling. One of the myths about channeling, it is that if you hear voices, you're crazy. And you even treat yourself, you gaslight yourself many times, that basically trying to convince yourself, oh, no, I'm just crazy. That voices or that thought that is telling me to turn to the right, or not to eat this, or not to act like that, it's just crazy. So the majority of people, when they start channeling, they keep it to themselves because they're too afraid of the judgment of other people. The fact in reality, it is that everybody is hearing voices except that minority of the collective of human beings, that they don't have the inner voice. Maybe because I haven't had the experience of being with one of these persons, so I can ask them. So I don't know, but this is, you can find it in Google. You're going to find that percentage. Now, you're open to channeling, you will channel demons. That's one of my clients. That was the first thing when he started taking the class with me. He told me, I am too afraid. How about if I channel demons? I don't want to channel demons. Well, that depends a lot in your vibration in reality. When we raise our vibration enough, and you learn how to also put protections and so forth, that in my class, the program Mastering Channeling, you're going to receive all that, precisely how to put protections, or is your ego, or is your higher self. Today we're going to be talking about the difference between your ego and higher self. But in reality, you're not going to connect to a demon. Let's say you want to channel when you're drunk, when you're in alcohol, or drunk, or drugs, or you're very angry at someone, or you're very depressed. You're not going to attract the higher beings that you want to attract. So you can talk with them. Just giving advices. I never channel if I'm going to be having some beers or some alcohol. Or if I'm going to do a mushroom trip, I try not to connect at the same time. Why? Because it changed my vibration. You learn how to raise your vibration enough, it's going to be easier so you can connect to higher beings. That's at the end, that's what we want to get in from the channeling, the majority of the human beings, or at least the ones that come to my classes. Now, the only one that can talk to these beings, it is the priest. I was raised Catholic, and that's what they told me. I studied even with nuns, so they always told me then that the only person who can talk with source energy, God, or universe, whatever name you want to call it, it was the priest. So you have to ask the priest. And the thing is, as a channeler, we're translating the language, but when we're passing the information, it's going to pass through our own filters. And every single human being has filters, including myself. Everybody has filters or traumas that we have passed, limitations, fears, all limited. When I'm talking about limitations, it is judgment, it is guilt, shame, etc. That is going to be filtered by that when we're receiving and passing information as it is. So more that we become a clear channel, we can pass the message without so many filters, and we put in our filters in the side so that the channel message can go through. So in reality, we all channel, it's open to us for listening to these beings. How open do you want to be at the same time? Do you know how to put protections? Do you know to have your guardians that you can install? Do you know those kind of things? Those are things of part of what I teach in my mastering program of channeling. That is a 12 weeks that we're going to be talking tomorrow about that, how you can learn more. Other of the myths of channeling is you're not worthy enough to converse with ascended master like Jesus, let's put it like that, or Buddha, or many beings that are there, Saint Germain, etc., etc. In how the fact it is in how the ascended masters or guide see you, it is not like human beings we see each other. In reality, what you even believe about yourself that you're worth, your guides are not seeing you with the same eyes that you see yourself. They're seeing you way bigger than you are. Or no, not that you are, that you believe that you are to yourself. So in the moment that you start opening up for them, they're not having the judgment of the human judgment because they are not humans. Yes, you can connect to your ancestors too, but when they pass to the other plane, they're not in this plane, so they can observe things in a different way that we observe them in the 3D world. So they always see you with compassion, with love, and you can feel that when you connect with them, when they're higher beings. If you lend your body to a being, you lose control over yourself, or you will get possessed. You hear that I hear that from many of the people. I tell them, I am a channeler. Oh, probably you're possessed already, or you lose completely control. My clients also have told me that when we start working in channeling, they have told me these things. And it is trans-channeling or channeling. It is different kinds of channeling. It is not about possession. Higher beings of the the planes that are connected with source energy and they work with love and light in reality. One, they respect the free will of every single human being. So they're not going to help you unless you even you ask for that help. They're not going to intervene because they have this laws of the universe that is not an intervention unless you ask for help. So they are not going to possess you. None of the, if I lend my body, you can see many channelers that are Archangel Michael or different beings that are channeling. They're not going to possess you. That's not what intent. They're here to help. They're not here to control you. Because if they really wanted to control you, they already be doing that. But that goes against the laws of the universe. So they are not going to do that because we are sovereign beings. One of the questions that my clients ask me is, your guides are going to interfere with your choices. When we start talking about the difference between your ego and your higher self, that's where the difference is. The ego will always try to intervene in your choices. A higher being is just basically the observer unless you ask them for help. Like, how do I resolve this? What is the best for me? Etc. They're gonna give you that. They're gonna show you that. But at the end, they know it is your choice to make the decisions you want to do, because they understand perfectly that every single human being that is in this plane, we're here to learn. We're here to experience. We all have different missions why we're here. So they're not gonna make choices for you, because or else they will interfere in your own lessons that you already signed up when you came to this plane. So they're not. And now we're going to talk about the difference between our ego and our higher self, because I believe that's where the majority will get confused unless we have a lot of practice and it comes faster. It is not something that once we already understand what the process of both of them is, like, when your ego is talking, that's majority of the time. And it's the ego is always going to try to control you, because the ego do not like changes. So every time you're going to go to a change, the ego is going to try to control you. Your ego is going to try to manipulate you and instigate fear. It will tell you words like this. Do you remember when you tried that 10 years ago? Well, you remember how it felt, and it will bring that memory from the past to your present, and you're like, oh no, it felt horrible. No, I'm not going to do that. But that voice in reality was there to protect you, that ego. Or in reality, the ego was there to control you, because you don't like changes. If you outgrow your ego and you can learn to control it very well, then what is going to happen? You lose completely control over you. So your ego in reality do not want you to have that control. Now, and usually when your ego is talking to you, it have a very loud voice. It's insistent, constantly telling you, no, you're gonna crash. No, you are gonna crash and burn in this one. And it's repeating you, telling you all these bad stories. So when you get that thought, ask yourself, if this voice is trying to instigate me fear, trying to move forward, if this voice is actually trying to control me, you're gonna ask yourself those questions every time that you have that a thought. Because when you get to the higher self difference, it is the higher self always going to be giving you advices. I suggest for you, and try this one. You can try it today when you go into the car to buy whatever, and just ask yourself, do I turn to the right or to the left? Sometimes, because we need to be in certain places that we don't know why we're here, why I'm meeting this person, because maybe that person is going to give you a little part of the puzzle of your own life. And your ego is going to conduct you to that person. So you get actually that little piece of the puzzle that you need to learn, understand, or to observe things in a different way. And if you remember the question before, ego, how do I can, higher self, how I can project my, a better life in me, or how I can get a better job, or how I can find the love of my life, whatever it is, question that you ask to your higher self. And you ask later on, hey, do I turn to the left or the right? If you follow that voice, probably it's going to take you closer or to the person or someone that knows the person that you need to meet. The majority for us is very hard to let go of that control and just let your intuition and follow your own intuition. Your higher self is never going to force you or insist that you do something, or is never also going to tell you, I told you to turn right, but you turn left. The higher self is never going to do that. Your ego will do something like that. It will tell you, I told you. So now, the higher self support us in any choice that we decide to. Okay, you want to learn pain. Okay, I don't recommend you to have pain, but do you want to have pain? Okay, what are you going to learn from that? And start questioning things like, what do you want to learn from pain? Why you want to experience pain? And things like that. So you start questioning yourself at the same time. So it will be helpful for you. You will not intervene if you don't ask them for the intervention. Your higher self is not going to come in. Do not it will not give you answers concrete. Why I should love myself? It's like, think about it. Your higher self will say, think about it. If you love yourself, you can achieve this and this. You will believe more in you. You will treat yourself different. You can have a life experience different. But at the end, you choose what you want to have. What is your life experience? What do you want for your life experience? Those are questions that your higher self will ask you. So it's not going to give you a concrete answer, but it's going to give you different thoughts so you can get the information that you asked originally. But it's going to come from you. It's not going to come directly. Now, the difference with the higher self and the higher self and the ego, the higher self have a lower voice. Now you want to increase the voice of your higher self, you have to focus in your higher self. Remember that wherever we put our energy and intention is what is going to grow. And if you're all the time only listening to your ego, that's what is going to grow more. And the voice is going to become louder. But if you do that to your higher self, that's when the things are going to be different. Your higher self, it is the one that is going to, the voice is going to become louder. Now, something that I tell all my students all the time, when your ego is actually bothering you all the time, like telling you, oh, you're getting fat, you're getting ugly, you're not good enough, or remember that fear, that's why you cannot have a mate, or whatever things that is pushing you down. What I tell my students is, tell your ego to take a walk. Because in reality, your ego is very obedient, thank God. It's very obedient. If you tell them to ego to take a walk, it will go away from you. I'm not sure if it goes to take a walk or not, but at least it's not in your head and bothering you. So like that, you will have that choice, that option, that letting your ego go, it is going to be letting your ego walk away. You can think more clearly. And that's a choice that you can do. You don't have to believe me. Just try it. Try it because I know it's going to bring the difference in you. Now, we're going to talk about the types of channeling that I do. So, and also we're going to be talking about some of the gifts that some of you already were born, developed, or want to develop. In the types of channeling, we have the automatic writing that many of you already are doing, or if you want to learn how to do it, we're going to go deeply in a master program of channeling that I'm going to have starting the 22nd. We start in that one. It's automatic writing. You're going to learn to do light language. And also, I like in my classes to practice. And more in the channeling is a hands-on class. Because when you're doing light language, you can do it. But so many people, I started doing it in the bathroom where no one was going to listen to me. No one was going to hear me because I was too ashamed and afraid. And I did not trust myself on what I was doing. I heard that voices that I did not understand, and I don't even know what language it was at the beginning. So when we start, so I like to do practice. So like that, you start building up to have that trust in yourself so you can do light language because light language help us to activate, to heal, to center. It is very, very helpful for you're working with energy. Light language is energy wise. All the channeling is energy wise, but it's going to help you to actually achieve better with your clients and with yourself when you're doing it. When I'm doing a clearing, when I am doing a healing, I use light language. Now, automatic writing, going back to the automatic writing, it is a telepathic communication that you're having, like I was mentioning early when I was writing my poetry at the beginning, and I was typing and typing and typing, or by hand. I was writing and writing my poems, and that's when I realized, oh, it came from one of my guides, my poet guide. That is one of my guides. So it came from him. And I was doing automatic writing precisely when I was writing that poetry. Now, in the trance channeling, it is a little bit different. It's still channeling very strongly. But what happens with the trance channeling that you can see in Bashar, Cleon, Wendy Kennedy, Abraham, those are trance channelers. The ones that have not seen or have an experience about like a trance channeler is basically we go asleep in our own body. We can sense the energy inside of us, but we open up to that being, and that being comes in our body that we gave them permission to be, as long as we want to they be at the same time. So it is not a possession, because you say, okay, that's it, no more. You're coming in and they get out. So what helps you in the trance channeling? What helps you in the trance channeling? They are the ones speaking and using your body. They're the ones doing the healing. So it's not passing through your own conscience with all your filters that you have. So the message is actually more clear, because you're not, it's not passing through the human experience that we all have. So the channeling, it is more clear. And they will might use even words. Sometimes people have said that when they're channeling, they know how to play a piano, and when you never have play a piano. Many things happen like that from them. Now, the telepathic communications, that's something that I do almost 24/7. If I'm awake, the 24 hours for sure, I'm going to be trans channeling. And I'm having these conversations with these beings. And it's like, okay, why this is happening to me? Why do I have to observe this? And what, and if we're having a conversation, they answer me and I answer back and so forth. So we're having a conversation. That's what is telepathic communications. In my class, in my program of mastering channeling, I teach telepathic. So like that, you're going to become more telepathic. You can talk with an animal instead. Also, if you want, I connect to my animals all the time. So you're going to learn how to do that too. The types of channeling, it can come in dreams, because the higher guidance, the last thing they want to do, it is to just to present themselves like that, unless you're already ready to receive a being. Probably it's blue or have bigger head, or it's different. It's not human. That you just present yourself. An angel comes with wings and so forth, or it's huge. It's like you just present themselves. Like one of my students used to tell me all the time, I just want to talk with Archangel Michael. I want to see Archangel Michael. And I tell him, yes. And if you're not ready, the Archangel Michael just show up in your living room and you're just gonna faint. You're gonna have a conversation. You're gonna freak out. When you're ready, you're gonna be ready. When you're ready, releasing your fears and all those kind of things, then you're gonna be ready to actually see him in person. Well, they lower their vibration themselves so they can speak to us, and we need to raise our vibration so we can fill the gap a little bit when we want to see them. And like I mentioned, the art and music, in a way, it is a ways of channeling. I believe that every single artist, not only painters, poets, writers, musicians and writers are the ones, many of them are filmmakers, etc. There it comes from channeling. So, and many even the people that read tarots or oracles, like I do, I I can know the cards perfectly, like, okay, if I have the Tower and the Dead, I know that's something really bad is going to happen. But how about if I'm channeling the message, I can give a better reading in tarot or in any oracle that I want, any reading that I want to do, because I am channeling the message. And yes, the cards are triggering to show me, okay, what do I have to focus next? What do I have to focus next? But the message, it is coming from our higher guidance. When you want to connect to the Akashic records, it is very, very helpful. You're already open to channeling. That's why I have that one in my third level, in Path to the Heart, the Akashic records. Why? Because if you're already channeling, you're going to be open to receive easier the message from the Akashic records. This is two examples of art channeling. This is the first one, the lion. It is made by Nelin Diosara. And you see all these symbols are part of the light language, art light language. And in mine, that I am here with one of my paintings, that is a light language at the same time. Your conscience is not going to understand it, but your subconscious will, and it's giving different messages. In mine, I can tell you, it is giving you the message to go to your center precisely. And it's not only going to your center, it is to open up to different possibilities. So you can start experiencing in your own self what you really wanted and observe that you are you're creator of everything that you're living on. That's the painting that I did. That's the meaning of that one. Well, what is so important? Raise your vibration. Like I talked in the beginning about what is important to raise your vibration. To start, is going to be your life experience way much better. A pessimist is not going to have a great life experience because they're always in the negative, and that's not low, not raising the vibration. They're lowering the vibration with the pessimism. So we have, when we raise our vibration, we have the power of love. It comes from our heart chakra, and it's that connection. That is what it connects us directly with source. And that's one of the best protections I have found. Yes, there are thousands of protections out there that I would teach several of them, like the Merkaba and things like that. I would teach some of them, but you have to understand that your heart connection, it is one of the biggest protections that you have for any being. And so it's important to feel that unconditional love, and that will raise your vibration really high. It is connecting at the same time to the unity conscious. In the unity conscious, you're going to find all your guides, source, energy, higher selves, etc., and all the collective of the human beings at the same time, if you choose to connect to them. And elevating our high vibration also at the same time is going to help us to anchor more our free will, because beings that they're not from the light, that are lower vibration, they will not respect the free will, and they cannot vibrate so high. And you as human beings, you can raise your vibration, so they will not even see you, they will not observe you. That's why I mentioned at the beginning, you're drunk, or you're high, or you're very mad, or you're very depressed, you're not loving yourself. You need to raise your vibration so you can have a clear channel from higher beings. Why is it important to communicate with your guides? They are here to assist you. They want what is the best for you, and more your higher self, because your higher self, it is your future self. So who wants the best for you? But yourself. But in the future, where she already passed for everything that already passed, and she needs resolve it way better than I did, and she's guiding me. Monica, you can do this and do that, because this might come, and this is possible, they can come to you if you continue in this path, or with these thoughts, or with these emotions, because she always wants the best for me. She don't have a double agenda. I am the more important for my higher self. They will, and they will protect you. You have heard many times that people have encountered angels that are protectors. Your higher self is also a protector. There are many beings that are your protectors. If you ask for their assistance, they will be there to protect you at any time. They will guide you from your highest potentials if you ask. What is the best for me? I don't know what job to take. What is the best job for me? Well, they guide me to that job. They will show you how you can achieve that. Remember that you cannot be alone even if you want to. They're around you. You have an entourage. Everybody has an entourage, a bunch of guides, angels, spiritual animals, your higher self, ascended masters. You have a soul family. You have an entourage all around you, even if you're alone in a room. So you cannot be alone. You can be alone without, if you don't want to talk to them, but they're still there. Well, the benefits about channeling is it will remove your self-doubt that you have about you. And almost everybody has self-doubts about themselves. And channeling will help you overcome that because you will get proof or verification that it will be easy for you to believe in yourself. You have to ask for that too. You will learn how it is your self-worth in reality because they see you big and beautiful as a brilliant, brilliant light. They don't see you with all your limitations or with that more that you're looking at yourself or that wrinkle that you're seeing yourself. They don't see you like that. So for them, you are always worthy. And they're so grateful that you're here doing the hard work in the 3D. So they're going to inject in you that self-confidence that you need if you let them, of course. They cannot intervene. When you're sabotaging yourself, they're saying, what is behind? And they tell me, like, okay, what is behind that you don't want to do this? Or you are just sabotaging yourself, Monica. Why you're sabotaging yourself? And like, am I sabotaging? Like, yes, you're sabotaging. Oh, okay, let me change this. Let me do something or have taken an action or something so I stop sabotaging myself. But they guide me, they tell me like when I am doing it, and I am doing it. So that is very, very helpful. Now, they will remind you how worthy you are. They will give you the liberty. You will have the liberty to honor yourself and respect yourself. And they will respect your beliefs. They say, okay, you want to believe in that? Be my guest. It is your choice, it's your option. We're still here in case you need us. Because you are worthy, and that's why we're here. They will use, in some derivations, something like that. And believing in yourself, they will help you to create a vision for the future because you ask, okay, I want to see how my life is going to be in 5 years. They will show you like in reels, in photos, or in something, a vision of what is coming in 5 years for you. Every time I am channeling and I'm asking, okay, what do I have to see in this person? Or when I'm having clients in a session with clients, what my client is needing. And they start telling me even before the client arrived, I already know what it's going to be about in that meeting with them. Because they're showing me, they're telling me, you need to work with them in this and this and this. And my client comes and they tell me the problem. And in reality, what I need to work with them is what my guides already told me. Sometimes when I start channeling, also I remember of conscious channeling because everybody do it consciously or unconsciously. When I start consciously channeling, I start one day I receive another gift that I can see all the possibilities that it can happen to a person. It depends on the choice that they take. And that was applying also for me and for everybody. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. How do I use it? Oh, don't worry. Tomorrow you have a client that it needs that. Like, oh, okay. Now we're gonna use this one. Okay, with my next client. And yes, the next day I have the client that I didn't even know because they have not signed up yet, and they just sign up for a session with me and exactly what they were needing. So you're always going to have confirmation of your guides and that you're doing great because of those little things. One day they show me what I have to learn because the next day I'm going to need it. That was in the future. So they're going to give you the strength that you need. And when it's hard times, when we're feeling lonely, when we're feeling not understood by others, we know we have a team that do understand us, that love us no matter what. That it is unconditional love. They're not judging us. Hi everyone, this is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love. And if you have been feeling stuck where you are right now, or if you have felt that you cannot connect with others in the same language or the same emotions that you're feeling, if you're a coach, a healer, energy worker, in any of those branches, maybe this is for you because we have felt the disconnection for the rest of our family, friends, that we cannot connect to them. And we're so afraid to actually go deep dive when we're getting triggered by our own clients because we're seeing our mirror image with them. My name is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love, and that's my spiritual name. And I take clients from feeling confused and feeling stuck to feeling free, to feeling that they feel empowered from themselves. I created a system, Path to the Heart, that goes in 3 levels. And the first level, it is healing the inner child, healing the parts of us that we've been so afraid, or it's very painful to do it. I have done it myself, not only with me, and I have done it with many of my clients, that I take them to this process. The second level, it is to go more into inner self, clearing the family lineage, to breaking the contracts and vows, learning deeper more about the laws of the universe. And the third level, it is learning how to channel, how to do waking up your and getting online your gifts, your unique gifts that the world so much needs right now. So if you wanted to know more about this, I am eager to show you and to teach you all what I know that I use every day in my life. So thank you for being here in this page. I really appreciate it. And this is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love.